Melihat kaptırıyor topu. Ali Tanrı'dan çok süratli. Ali orta yapacak. Sert orta. Sert orta.
Welcome everyone to what is a rather scenic Antalya for today's game. As you can see, the weather is rather nice, but it isn't going to be quite as nice. Tomorrow, apparently, we've got some gusty weather instead of this lovely sunshine. But before we get on with today's game, we do of course have a couple to catch up on, including one in the Europa League at home to Lille. So without further ado, let's hop into Football Manager 21 and crack on with today's episode. Okay everyone, we're mixing it up a little bit today. We are actually looking at some new contracts before we jump into the game catch-up. So first of all, we have Lassen. He's been asking me for about, I don't know, since last episode. He hasn't been asking too long, but not long after that game he did ask for a contract renewal. I then didn't do it at the time because I basically forgot and wound it forward. He asked me again and I just turned around and said, yeah, you know what, I'll give you the contract renewal. So as you can see, he's now on a 5-year contract worth 3 million. Yes, that's more than 10 grand a week extra in his pocket. He's on 15,750 per week. He was previously on 5.5, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, feel free to go back and check that, but that's roughly how it was. It was about 5.5. He's now on 15,750 per week. Now, the other contract renewal is a little bit more interesting. If I head to the inbox, as you can see, we are getting offered a new contract. I think we're currently on about 2.5, 250, around that sort of rate. And well, they're offering me a 5-year deal at 6 grand a week. I think that is absolutely lovely. So, end of current season, they want us to be competitive in the Euro Cup while we're doing that. Top half in Super League, they basically haven't changed anything here. This is all the same, so they're just offering me a lot more money. I think we'll take it. Now, as you can see, there's a top division release wage drop that they've slid in there, but you know what? Give us an extra 250 and we'll take that. Excellent. That has gone down a treat. Now, let's go catch up on those games and crack on. Okay, so the first of the two games saw us welcome struggling Gaziantep to our Timsah Arena. And, well, they struggled. As you can see, a lovely early goal from Gürkan. We then had Mad with a penalty who slotted it in the bottom left-hand side to finish things off late. So, nice early one. As you can see, we also missed a penalty. Weirdly, Carranza missing a penalty on the 30th minute, but Mad then went and put one away in the 90+1. I don't know. It's like some sort of backwards universe in this sense. But as you can see, for the most part, our team did well. So Zubzuk got 7.4 in goal. Our backline of Blackett, Kuble, Gordinho and Lassen got 7.5, 7.5, 7.7 and 7.4 respectively. Our central midfielders of Sharok and Emrihan got 6.8 and 7.1. In attacking mid on the left-hand side, Aaron struggled. He got 6.4. But in the centre, Mehmet had a good game with a 7.6. And Gürkan with a goal and a 7.2 didn't do too bad on the right hand side as well. Carranza though, he had a bad game. He got a 6.5, he missed that penalty, he was just all over the shop and hence why Mad came on. So as you can see from the substitutes, we had Milinkovic, he came on, got a 6.5, he had a bad game. Einol got a 6.9, that's decent, 6.8 for Kurt, and then Mad of course having a solid game with that one goal and 7.2. Now, in terms of match statistics, well, we dominated them. We had 10 shots to their 2, 3 on target to their 1. We should have been a bit more clinical with our finishing, but we was playing a not very good side, so it didn't bite us in the backside this time. 2.27 XG to their 0.24, 7 corners to 3, 9 fouls to 20, 0 yellow cards to 3, 91% passing to 83, and 66% possession to 34. But how did we get on in the Europa League as we versed Lille? Okay, so against Lille, I decided to rest 6 of our starting lineup, and well, that worked out at first with Einol getting a nice early goal in the 23rd, almost 24th minute. They went and quickly equalised though through a corner, lovely header by Vavro, and it's 1-1. Then they went and got a second. As you can see, Lassen should have done better. Bamba gets it to Bika, and Bika gets it past Zubzuk in the right-hand side. But we didn't give up. We brought Emrihan on. He went and got it to Lassen. Lassen whipped in a lovely cross. Youssef hit the post. tripped up Anal, I would say, but luckily it falls to Gerkan, who then slots it away. A little bit scrappy, but we'll take it considering we was given a bunch of youngsters an opportunity to shine and play against some good competition. So, as you can see, Zubzuk in goal, got a 6.7. We can't complain too much considering who was playing in front of him. Our backline of Umit, Ahmet, Obilor and Lassen. Umit had a good game. Youngster managed to go out and perform on that left-hand side with a 7 rating. Ahmet, again, another development player, got a 7.2. Obilor, a little bit disappointing. He's our starter, and yet he's one of the ones who struggled. Then we have Lassen, again, starter, 7.3. Had a good rating, but as you saw, he did technically give away one of the 2 goals. Shirok in central midfield had a solid performance. That is why he is one of our starters with that 7 rating. Volkan, though, the youngster, didn't perform at all, got a 6.3, nor did his replacement, to be fair. Emrehan came on and only got a 6.5. In our attacking mid, well, Youssef, he was a bit hit and miss, as you saw. He hit the post, he was a bit more miss. But got a 6.7 on that left-hand side. Can't complain too much with that. He's a youngster trying to develop. Mehmet, though, we can. He's a 6.5. He's a starting player. He should not be getting a 6.5 in this game. Halit, again, a youngster, but we can't let him off. He had a 6.3. That is far too disappointing for us. Anal, though, came on. He went and developed nicely with a goal and a 7.6 rating. In terms of the other substitutes, which weren't Emrehan, we then had Kurt. He came on, got a 6.9. And Gerkan Demir had a fantastic time. Got a goal and a 7.9, making him our star performer in this game. So, how did the match statistics look after all that? Well, we had 16 shots, they had 8, 9 on target to their 4, 2.63 XG to 1, 6 corners to 7, 9 fouls to 9 fouls, 2 yellow cards to 1 yellow card, 87% passing to 82, 54% possession to 46. But that is our roundup. So it's time to go talk to Mr. Jason Dodds in the tactical meeting screen. Okay everyone, so we've made it to the tactical meeting room where we are of course talking to the one and only Jason Dodds. As you can see, he's got a few different opposition instructions for us, so we're just going to crack on and do those, and everything else we are going to completely ignore. So team selection is as follows. Well, this is what it was left at before. We are of course not going to use this lineup. We are going to go for our best possible lineup. So first of all, we'll swap to the A team because we all love a bit of A team, and then we shall see who we potentially have to take out due to condition. Now, it doesn't look like we've got any condition problems. Anal is a little bit tired, so perhaps we drop Anal out of the substitutes bench. That isn't too much of an issue, I guess. So we'll remove Anal from there. We can then bring... I wish I could have brought Papka in. I guess Halit, although he's got a bit of a fitness concern. We can bring Halit in terms of Anal, so he can be the backup on this right-hand side, which means Milinkovic will have to back up over here. But again, Milinkovic, if he comes on, Shirok has to come off. It's a big hole. Rejig of the midfield, but that is our change. That is the lineup I think we are going to go for. So we've got Zubzuk in goal. Our centre-backs are Kublai and Gordinho. Linking up on the left-hand side are Blackett and Eren. On the right-hand side, Lassen and Gerkan. In central midfield, we have Shirok and Emrehan. And then in front of them, Mehmet and Karanza. So without further ado, let's crack on with this one. Of course, substitutes are Atberk, Musin, Obilor, Ahmet, Mailman, Volkan, Milinkovic, Halit, Sinan and Mad. We can't be forgetting the bench, I almost did, but we can't be forgetting those guys. As you can see, tactically, it has gone down a treat. Karanza is doing his usual complaint, and Karanza doesn't like... Karanza, just stop complaining, Karanza, please. After that other game that we saw, you know, your 6.5 or whatever it was, like, you can't be complaining. You need to pick things up. You are, of course, our most expensive signing, so you should probably be playing a little bit better instead of making excuses. Anyway, come on lads, show me what you can do to keep our run going. We are away at Antalyaspor. I think that's a reasonable approach. It hasn't gone down great, but it hasn't gone down badly either, has it? So, Zayra Uzna. Can't English. It was a while ago, but Bursaspor actually suffered defeat the last time they played Antalyaspor. Well, let's go get some revenge. If I knew that, I would have done the revenge team talk, to be honest. Will that have any bearing ahead of the game? These things are always funny. A few more defeats and they'll become our bogey team. No. There'll be some elements of doubt here, just as... No. Not in the slightest. It was ages ago for starters. I don't think so. We're professional enough to approach this fixture in the same way as any other. Exactly. Right, so... Whilst teams in other countries prepare for the winter break, your side schedule looks busier than ever. Would you agree it's about time the league thought about opting to break for a few weeks at this time of year? We've had this discussion. We've literally had this discussion so many times. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Also, there's better ways of splitting things up rather than having a gap that's then going to condense the fixtures in the rest of the time more. Maybe just spread them out even more, and then there's less of an issue. You know, if you spread them out for an extra month throughout the year, you can then throw in like an extra day between each fixture, rather than condensing them into less months and then going, oh, you can have a couple of weeks off. Well, yeah, that's great for the couple of weeks, but then the rest of the time you actually have more condensed fixtures. So, yeah. Little bit of a rant there, I apologise. But some of these suggestions are rather backwards, if I must say. Like, I understand the whole give them a break, let them refresh, but again, it just puts more pressure on the time in between. You know, your gaps between the two breaks then mean you have more games squashed into those gaps. So, Emrahan collects the ball, plays it over to Shrock. It's now with Mehmet in the centre circle. Can we get anything going on this right-hand side? Well, Emmett will play it over to Gerkan. He's got an overlap in Lassen. He finds him. Will Lassen get a cross in? Or will he pull it back for Gerkan even? No, he's just going to play it over into the middle of the park and give it away. Now, it's with Totino. Totino's got acres of space, considering our right-back isn't there and our winger isn't there either. And they just passed it around and got it in. Simple as that. Simple as that. So, right. Let's get attacking. That was rather embarrassing. The defence knew what was going on about as much as I did. Coutinho found himself on the right wing when he's a central defender. Paul just pulls it back onto the edge of the area. They smash it against the defender, somehow pass it across the left-hand side, and Totino just smashes it past Zubzuk. So, yeah, not a great start to today's game. As you can see, we are, of course, chasing Galatasaray at the moment. And where are they? Antalyaspor is currently 7th, so this is actually a rather big fixture for them, trying to chase Europe. This would put them 2 points behind Sivasspor, although Sivasspor and Trabzonspor, of course, do have a game in hand over all the teams below them, except Adana. Adana can get themselves up to 26 points. Interesting. There's a bit of a shuffle going on around that spot. But right now, we've got a rather disappointing result. So they've had 6 shots, we've had 3. 3 on target, we've had 3. 0.25 XG to their 0.73. 3 corners to their 2. 8 fouls to their 6. 1 yellow card to 0. 90% passing to 82. 64% possession to 36. We need to do more with the ball. We've got the ball now, let's use it. So, who's letting us down? Well, Carranza is being a disappointment right now. Eren Gullier is doing meh. Ozcan, you need to pick things up. Same with you, Gerkan. We also have Emrehan who's struggling. We have way too many people playing badly. Lassen is also struggling. So, lads, I expect to see a much better showing in the second half. That was just awful. Quite frankly, that was awful. Just go out there and show something more. So, 53rd minute, we're going to demand more. Give them a couple more minutes, then we're going to start substituting players off. So, Lassen will throw it in. Can we get one back here? Lassen to Mehmet. Gets over to Gerkan. Gerkan, lovely ball over to Blackett. Blackett, acres of space. Can he do anything with it though? Tries to cross it. It's blocked. He's got it back though. Gets back in. Mehmet gets his shot saved. And it's cleared out to Gerla. Gerla coming past on the right hand side for them. Unfortunately for him, he didn't get anything going. The highlight died. And now we are into substitution time. So, who are we going to take off? Last time I looked, we had way too many people who needed substituting. I pressed the complete wrong thing, as you might have noticed. So, let's just do this by rating. We're going to do by rating, see who's struggling the most. Carranza, you've been absolutely awful, so goodbye, Mr. Carranza. We then have Adigan. Adigan's having a terrible time, so you are going to go off. We then have Lassen, who's having a bad time. And then, yeah, we've got a choice of 3 people to use a 4th substitute on. Demir, Gullier, or Ozcan. I think Sinan Kert for Mehmet is probably going to give us the best opportunity to get anything going. I think the wingers have an opportunity to pick things up. I think our central midfielder, though, definitely needs to get something going. We're going very attacking. We're going to demand a bit more. I know it's a bit risky because they can probably get us on the counter attack and get a second, but we need to try and get a goal. So we're going very attacking, then we'll drop it back to positive if we manage to pull one back. But we have less than 20 minutes to do so. So Paul will keep the ball in play. Plays it back. Oh no, lovely block. Can we get away though? Blackett clears it. Mad. Counter attack. We have Gerkan on the right hand side. Sinan is making a run through the middle. He's gave the ball away though. Mad. What are you doing? Metin coming on this left hand side now. Tried to pull it back for Ufuk. He gets it up to Conrado. Conrado now to Metin. Metin whips it across. Luckily for us, it goes sailing over to the right hand side and their player runs it out. So thank you, Gerla. I appreciate that, but our team needs to pick things up. Can't demand more. So that's rather disappointing. So we just got to pray at this point. Lads, pick it up. This is not the sort of performance we want to see. So 60, 68, 87 I should say. 87th minute, we're going to demand more. Yes, again, this is rather disappointing. Even if we manage to pull one back, this is going to be a disappointing result, but we can pull one back. Finally, we have been upset in an episode. Our lucky run has, well, fallen apart. So, Zubzuk, 6.7 in goal. He didn't do bad, he just didn't do great, did he? Then our backline of Blackett, Kubilay, Gordinho and Musin. Again, nobody really underperformed in that area. It's definitely our forwards who were struggling. So Blackett on the 6.8, I can't be too disappointed with. 7.4 for Kubilay is decent. Gordinho on a 6.9 could do a little better, but again, not too bad. And Musin on a 6.7, again, not too bad. Shirok got a 7, he was solid. Volkan came on, he did okay on a 6.7. The only problem there was Emrehan getting that 6.4. Lassen with a 6.8 before going off was doing alright. Mehmet got a 6.6, was definitely a terrible performance. And Carranza with a 6.4 was also awful. And, well, just looking at that front four, to be honest, Mehmet, like I said, 6.6. Carranza on 6.4. Mad on 6.6. 6.6 for Sinan. 6.5 for Gerkan and 6.5 for Eren. That's just not good enough. That is why you don't win games like this. Because no one up front was actually doing anything. So, rather disappointing. As you can see, we picked up 3 more yellow cards, which isn't going to do great for suspensions. I think Gordinho is actually now suspended for the next game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So, we're going to tell the lads we're not pleased with that result. That was a very disappointing result to take. As you can see, it now puts us 7 points behind Galatasaray. Yes, we have a game in hand, but it's allowed Fenerbahce to catch up the 5 points behind us. We've slipped up against a decent side away from home, but those are games we need to win. If we're losing points, we need to lose points to the top 5, not to people below that. But that is a problem for another day. Right now, we have to just accept it. Kublai has gone and grassed us up to the media, as you can see. He's gone running off to the media and told them we gave him the hairdryer treatment. So, yeah, all round, not very good. But for the Turkish team, well, he's been having a look at a couple of players. Demir and Ozcan, well, they haven't done themselves any favours trying to get into the Turkish squad now, have they? Because they both had terrible games. And it's time for our post-match analysis, but I will do that off episode. I am now going to play the second leg of our cup, which, as you all know, we won 2-0 in the first one. We should manage to cruise through that one. I'm going to probably do a split squad again for that one. We've got 3 days rest, but then we do have Denizlispor 4 days later, and then Fenerbahce 3 days after that. So we really do need to battle it out in those 2 games, but I don't think we're going to come back for either of those. Denizlispor does tempt me to come back for that one, but I think we'll come back for the Besiktas game. Besiktas, as you can see, in 6th place. They're battling to try and get up. It's away from home. It's a very big game So I think that's the one we come back for. And then I think we'll come back probably for the cup game. The cup game will probably be just after these ones when we get through, because I think it'd be a bit pessimistic, so we're not going to get through against a team in the league below when we've already got a 2-goal difference. But I thank you all for watching. I'm starting to
No, we can't end the episodes like that. So let's head on into the Euro Cup draw instead. Let's finish things off with a little bit of positivity. So we're in the final 16, the knockout round, and well, the other teams in this are Cologne. We have ourselves, of course, Dynamo, Galatasaray, Krasnodar from Russia. We have Ajax, Club Brugge, Fenerbahce, Inter Milan, and Marseille. Further down, we then have PSV, Wolfsburg, Zenit St. Petersburg, PSG, Shakhtar, and Young Boys. So we are actually joined by Fenerbahce in the knockout round, which is nice to see. We also have Galatasaray, 3 Turkish teams in the knockout round. Not too bad, but who are we going to get? So first of all, it's Shakhtar versus Cologne. We then have Ajax versus Zenit St. Petersburg. Dynamo will play PSV. Club Brugge will play Galatasaray. Krasnodar, I think that's the one we probably want. It's the one I would say is probably the smallest of these teams. Marseille get them. Of course Marseille get them. So left is us, Fenerbahce. We're going to get PSG, aren't we? Or Inter. Wolfsburg and Young Boys. So Young Boys? Fenerbahce gets Young Boys? We will get a big team, I just realised. PSG? I said we'll get PSG. I said we'll get PSG. We're heading back to France, everyone. Heading back to France. I think they're going to give us a little bit more of a fight than Lille did. But it's going to be fun. We're going to head to Paris for our game. And that, I believe, is going to fall somewhere down here. A couple of games after Besiktas. So it's not going to be the next episode, but it will be the one after. I thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a lovely night and goodbye.